Hi everybody, this is just going to be a quick video to show you the basic steps that you need in order to create a story podcast and send it off in order to be reviewed and hopefully put up onto the website. There are of course a lot of complex things that you can do. You can use a lot more programs than this, but this is just going to be a quick, painless, simple tutorial to show you the things that you've got to do. So, the first thing I'm going to show you is a program. It's free software that will let you record your voice. So, of course, we're going to presume that you've already got a microphone, because otherwise you're not going to have much luck recording at all. Anyway, I'm going to go up to my toolbar, and I'm going to go to google.com, and as soon as Google comes up, I'm going to search for Audacity. That's Audacity. And it actually already comes up with the result. It's audacity.sourceforge.net. So I'll go ahead and click that, and it's going to take me right to the website. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on this download link right here. And when the page comes up, I'm going to pick from one of these two boxes. Don't go with the beta, because it's only for advanced users. Let's go with this most recent stable build. As of this recording, it's 1.2. It might not be when you go to record your own podcast. Then I'm going to select my operating system. I don't have Linux or Mac OS X. I'm working on Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Windows button. And there's a whole lot of information here, but basically what I'm interested in is the installer right here. So I'll click on that. And in a second, Windows will pop up and ask me what I want to do with the file, whether I want to save it or run it from where it is. And I always like to pick save, because if there should be any kind of problem, you don't have to download the software again. So it's directing us to a download mirror, which basically means there are several places where you might be able to find this download, and it's going to try and pick the fastest one for us. Now, sometimes this page doesn't work, which it doesn't seem to be working for me. If that's the case, right here it says try this direct link to tell your computer, hey, please start the download. So I'll click on the link. Here we go. And it's Audacity Win 1.2.6. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And then I'm going to save this right onto the desktop. And in just a few seconds, it's not a very big file. There we go, it's done. So let me close my browser, because I don't need that anymore. Okay, so there's the installer. I'm going to double click on it. It'll ask me, it says, hey, I don't know who the publisher is, because basically the publisher isn't Microsoft. This doesn't matter. I'm just going to say, go ahead and run the program. And I'm going to click Next. I will accept the terms to the license agreement. Tell it yes, it's okay to go ahead and install the program right here. I want to create a desktop icon, and I also want to associate with Audacity project files. I'll click Next and Install. Alright, so it comes up, it says the install is finished. Would you like to launch Audacity now? And I would, so I'll click on Finish. So here's the window we're going to be working in, but before we do that, let me show you. This is my own author page, and either you're going to have one of your own stories or a story from somebody else that you have permission to record. Please do not just pick a story off of the archive and just start reading it without the author's permission. That could end up in a bad place. The other thing I've also got is I've got a notepad window open, and I've taken the disclaimer from the forum page that has all of this same information on it. You have got to start your audio file with this disclaimer, otherwise we've got no choice but to reject it, even if it's a great file. So read the disclaimer. Anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do is decide which story I'd like to go ahead and read, and I'll just pick this one because it's first. I don't think I'll actually do the whole chapter. And I'll go ahead and click Chapter 1. Great. And so here's my text. I'm having a little trouble with my display, but so I would select the text of my chapter. and I just find it's a lot easier to work with if I go ahead and stick it into Notepad. So there's the text of my chapter. Now, after the disclaimer, I could also do some kind of introduction right here if I like. If I wanted to say something about, like for example, the fact that this story is in response to a challenge, I could say that right here. Anyway, so I've got the text that I'm going to read, so I can minimize this because I'm done with this now. So I've got Notepad and I have Audacity. So I'm going to go ahead and click on record right here. And then I'm going to pull up, when I release record, it'll start recording, obviously. And then I'm going to open up Notepad and start to read the text from there. Welcome to the HarryPotterFanfiction.com podcast. The following story is based around characters created by J.K. Rowling. The author of the following story and the website providing it have no connection to J.K. Rowling, Scholastic Books, Bloomsbury Publishing, or AOL Time Warner Incorporated. This is an unofficial podcast. No permission has been given by any of the aforementioned parties, and since no money is being made from it, no infringement is intended. Rights to the characters mentioned is neither claimed nor implied. Hello HPFF, this is a story that I wrote and am still working on, and I just thought I'd like to share it with you because I thought you might enjoy it. So, without further ado, A Train Bound for Nowhere, Chapter 1. Okay, anyway, so on and so forth. So, I can go ahead and stop the recording. Right, so now that the recording is done, I can go back and I can listen and make any corrections to the file that I need to. For example, if I stumble over my words, I'll make a note of where that happened, and say I'd made a mistake right here. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to read and get the whole file down, and then I'll go back and fix all my mistakes at the end. So, for example, if I had a mistake here, I could highlight it, and if I press the delete key on my keyboard, it goes away. It's fantastic. So, that's pretty much it. Now, the only thing that's left is to go ahead and publish the file and then send it to either myself or Jay. Now, I've had a couple of people submit things to me, and they just go File, Save Project. Don't show that warning again. Save the project, and they stick it on the desktop and call it My Awesome Story, and save it, and then they send me that file. This doesn't do me any good because it's only 1 kilobyte large. What it actually contains is all of your user settings. If you apply any audio filters to this audio stream, like, I don't know, you make it echo or you put music behind it, it saves all of that information, but it doesn't actually save the information in a way that I can use it. It's kind of like if you're familiar with Photoshop, the difference between a .psd and a .jpeg. So what you actually have to do is go to the File menu here, and you can either export as MP3 or as OGG Vorbis. Now, if you export as an MP3, there's a separate plugin that you have to download. It can be complicated, and honestly, it's not worth all of the hassle to try and make you install that when you can natively export under the OGG Vorbis, and I can do the conversion. So, same thing, it can have the same file name. It'll take just a minute for it to actually prepare the project, and then there on my desktop is the file. And I can double click it, and actually if Winamp opens up, then it'll start to play. So, there we go. Thank you, everybody, and I need to shut him up so that I can finish saying goodbye. Thank you for your time, and really, I hope that you are inspired to go out and record your own stories. Not only because people get a different kind of enjoyment out of them, hearing your own inflections, and they just get to hear it the way you intended it when you wrote it, but also it's a great way to drive up your reviewership. I know a story of mine that I podcasted went from having 2 reviews to about 25-30 reviews after people heard it on the podcast. So it's good for other people, and it's good for you, and it's good for the site. So I would definitely encourage you to do that.